magic's nipple turn!
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying-Model-Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk about the nerdy news that you need to know about. It's the only news that matters. It's good news, and on today's show, Zelda plays Knifey Spoony, Tom Cruise loves the Flash, and it's Dodson. Dodson's here! But as you know, here at Model Behaviour, action figures always come first. There's no desk. Well, let's talk about them. So first up, oh my goodness, we got to round up all of these McFarlane Flash figures because there's a lot of them. The biggest news has to be the Batmobile itself, which I mentioned on the last episode. But now we got the full reveal, the pictures, and most importantly, the price, or lack thereof. $60. $60 for a 1/12, although they're 7-inch scale, so slightly bigger than 1/12, I guess, Batmobile. That's bonkers. Even if, like, the plastic quality and the craftsmanship isn't like what, I don't know, maybe the Hellcharger might have been, it's $60. And it's not crowdfunded either. And so many things that Hasbro would say about doing crowdfunding projects. Oh, the box is too big to put in the store. Shh, I want you to just stop with that. Stop with that nonsense right now, okay? Todd McFarlane just ate your lunch. And I don't like McFarlane toys, okay? So don't anybody come at me saying like, oh, look at you being a McFarlane fanboy. No, I really don't like McFarlane figures. I think they look ugly. But it is what it is. It's a huge big box for an action figure that doesn't need to be crowdfunded, is a reasonable price, and is, boom, right there. No tears, no nonsense. You get what you pay for. That's really quite something. I'm down for that. That's really impressive. Bravo, Todd. I still don't like your figures, but that's a good deal. But then in addition to that, there is also the Batwing. And that's getting a little north in price by a big way. $250 for this. It's very, very big. Big ass wingspan. I'm sure there's a lot more details and work that go into it to justify that big price. However, the fact still remains, it's not crowdfunded. Todd's like, you want it? Boom, there's the price. You can buy it. No tears, no nonsense. That's all I'm asking for. You know what Model Behaviour is all about. No tears, no nonsense. Just toys. And anything else I want to talk about. And some tears and nonsense. There's a lot of nonsense on this channel. But this Batwing, this ain't nonsense. Again, I don't want it, not for me, but the fact that it's just there, and you can pick it up should you want it or not, or keep the $250 in your pocket, you can do whatever you want. I'm not used to having a microphone stand here. Just hit my hand on it. That slightly hurt. I think we're about to have tears. Now we got the actual figures in this wave, and there's some sort of classic McFarlane, I would say. First of all, with the Michael Keaton Batman, which is great to see. I mean, it's not the 89 Batman, this is the older Michael Keaton Batman, but still, it's got that look. I would imagine, come on McFarlane, you gotta do an 89 Batman and maybe an 89 Joker as well, if you can pony up the dough for Jack Nicholson's likeness. I don't know what he charges, but I imagine it would be a lot. It's like, so you want to make a toy out of me, do ya? This isn't going to cost ya. Was that Jack Nicholson? Yeah, I think that was close enough. Regardless, it looks okay, but you've got the two different versions as well. So if you want the Silver Fox Michael Keaton head, you're going to have to buy a separate figure for that. Todd, back to your old ways. You giveth with one hand and taketh with the other. But still, it's nice to see semi-classic looking Batman in action figure form. Then we've got classic Barry Flash, and yeah, I mean, I'm not going to linger too long on him. That's him. That's what he looks like. It's great that there are some Flash figures in this kind of Flash wave, because it's pretty Batman heavy. But then again, we know where the money is. And we're not done with vehicles either. There's the Bat Cycle as well. I couldn't see a price on this. I'm sure it's out there. I just couldn't see it, because I probably wasn't looking hard enough. But if you want it, then you're going to click on it and you're going to see a price. So, I'm redundant here anyway. Then we've also got the Ben Affleck Snyderverse Batman 2. And again, that's really cool. Apparently he's only going to be in the movie for like 5 minutes, according to Ben Affleck. He was like, yeah, I did these shoots for Flash. I'm going to be in it for all 5 minutes. It's like, Good to see the passion there, Ben. I can't say I blame him, though. It sounds like it wasn't much fun making those original Justice League movies. Or movie. I mean, it's kind of like 2 movies now, isn't it? Regardless, we've got a version of him, so that's kind of cool, too. Then we got the Flash in his Batman costume. That's what it's listed as, so I guess this is a costume that Batman made for him in the Flash movie. Which is kind of funny that it has, like, the hint of bat ears. I can imagine being like, this is, I'm the Flash. I'm not the Bat Flash. I'm just Flash. This isn't like Red Death or anything. He's like, yeah, but all costumes need ears. Do they though? You're getting ears. He got ears. Then we got Supergirl, who I think looks kind of cool. I'm guessing since this Flash movie is kind of a Flashpoint type thing, like, is it Supergirl who comes to Earth and gets captured by the military instead of Clark? I don't know. I'm spitballing. I'm not a DC guy, but she looks cool. And yeah, there you go. Sometimes my analysis is limited to looks cool. Then you got the Build-A-Figure, which is Dark Flash. Nope, wrong. Not a Build-A-Figure, just a regular standalone figure. There goes Dave jumping to conclusions again. New country, same old nonsense. And I have no idea what the lore of this is. Does he steal the souls of speedsters? Apparently, like, that's a thing. He looks gruesome and gnarly. Like, I like the look of this character. Looks like, actually, genuinely, like, could be quite scary. I wouldn't want this dude chasing after me. And it looks like you can kind of see, what's the name of the actor who plays the Flash? No, it's gone, but you can sort of see his features in amongst the monstrous kind of face. I think that's kind of nice. I assume that's that actor. It's going to turn out it's a completely different character, and I'm like, no, Dave, you're just imagining things. Regardless, I think that it looks kind of cool. So the McFarlane Build-A-Figures, I think like they've been generally a bit better than the Hasbro ones recently. So again, Hasbro, time to up your game a little bit. I way prefer Hasbro figures over McFarlane, but it is what it is. Y'all got to step on up a little bit, or Todd's gonna start eating your lunch. I've used that expression already, but hey, it's appropriate. And then finally there's the 12-inch Batman Multiverse Unmasked 89 Flash Batman gold labels in there as well. There's a lot of stuff. Todd, he loves confusing me with all of his names and listings and likenesses and licenses, and words are hard. Let's do the next segment. Over in Super 7, they're not doing modern movies, they're going way back for a Disney classic with The Rescuers. This one's kind of, I remember watching this as a kid, there's a lot of fondness there. So they're doing Penny, and is it Bernard and Bernice? The two mice? The two mice come in a pack together with a couple of little accessories. It's a really nice little set. They look very pretty. And then you got Penny there as well, who's the girl they are rescuing, I guess. It's funny, when I see these images and characters, my brain thinks of the song like, run with us, we got everything you need. But that's not the Rescuers, is it? What is that? Run with us, we are free. Run with us, I feel the passion in your eyes. Raccoons, not Rescuers, Raccoons. That's what that was. Okay, forget this video. I'm going to go watch the Raccoons. No, Dave, try and be professional. They're $55 each, going to be available at the start of next year. There you go. Now let's watch Raccoons. Boss Fight Studios are giving us more of their 1/12 scale H.A.C.K.S skeleton figures, and I freaking love these. These look like so much fun. First of all, we've got a Mexican luchador style skeleton, Bone Salt. Bone Salt's ready. I got you for 3 minutes. That's 3 minutes of playtime. Yeah. So yeah, you got Bone Salt. Then also we're gonna get the Outlaw skeleton. So we got ourselves a rootin' tootin' cowboy skeleton. Again, they're just fun, creative silliness. I love it. Then we got ourselves the Eterno Guardian Warrior skeleton. Again, just seeing like the skeleton in the kind of old ancient sort of mask, like it still looks creepy. So it's funny that like some of these are kind of goofy and silly, but then like they got a bit of a creep horror factor as well. So I really love this little mix they've got going on. And then we got the Spartan Warrior as well. So you got 4 really great ones to choose from. But just as I'm making this video, they're releasing some more as well. So let's talk about these ones. So we got some fantasy characters now. These are more like just in the works and you can pre-order them. And this is going more sort of, well, yeah, fantasy, I guess. Well, skeletons are fantasy. It's all fantastical. So we've got a Leonidas to go with your Spartan skeleton warrior. Leonidas, a lot of nice looking detail on there. Again, these boss fight studios are nice. Like, good details, good, like, ooh, a bit of extra work going on there. Kind of makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard. I'm sorry, just like anytime I think of Daddy Magic on AEW, it just makes me chuckle. So, yeah, Leonidas, he looks really cool. Then we got this monster guy. What's his name? Coleoptera. So, yeah, you get yourself a Coleoptera as well. And then finally, for all of you customizers out there, you guys who have the skills to pay the bills, well, you have the skills so you don't need to pay the bills because you can make the action figures yourselves. You've got this blank that you can just do whatever you want with. And that's something like Hasbro, McFarlane, they could do well with that. Maybe they don't want people making customs. They're like, no, you got to buy our action figures. But like, could you imagine like just a blank Marvel Legends, just sell a bunch of Bucky caps? I bet. Well, I don't think people really want Bucky caps anymore. Sell a bunch of Vulcan bodies or Renew Your Vow bodies. People would dig that. I mean, not me. I have zero skills with which to pay the bills. That's why I've got to work extra hard. So anyway, these are all due out January next year. The skeletons are going to be $29.99, and then Leonidas and the green dude, they're listed as $27.99. So again, like this is kind of like Marvel Legends type prices, but really nice, fun-looking action figures. I really dig these. Hey, remember Book of Boba Fett? Nah, I'd rather forget it as well. But some people actually do want to commemorate some of the characters in it. Don't know why, but here we are. So, Gentle Giant are doing a 1/6 scale Gamorean Guard bust. Limited to only 1,000 pieces. Don't know if there's 1,000 people who want to commemorate that show. No, of course there are. I'm just being salty because it's Boba Fett, man. How do you make Boba Fett bad? Come on, Disney. Still, you can get a bust of this guy if you want and just put him on the mantelpiece and try to think back to better times. Speaking of better times, the Nacelle company have revealed more images of their biker mice from Mars. Don't worry, I never watched the show, so I won't start singing the theme tune. You know me, it's like, oh, it's Dave, he's talking about something with a theme tune, he's going to start singing it. No, you're safe here. So Nacelle company, they're making a lot of like retro properties recently, digging into the archives from the 80s and 90s. Biker mice from Mars, all part of the massive, anthropomorphic, badass, cool animal phase that we all went through in that time period. And hey, they were one of the ones that kind of got lost in the shuffle, but what's old is new again. So these guys, let me just check the details here. Throttle, Mondo, and Vinny, they're going to be $36 each and apparently available towards the end of this year. Neca are going back to their Elvira license, first of all with a very cute looking Tiny Toons version of Elvira. That's kind of cool. I really like the Tiny Toons characters. Or Tiny Terrors characters, not Tiny Toons, that's different. I think a full display of those will actually be really fun. Again, money in space, although I have space now. You can see the backdrop is slowly coming together, but it's a little barren at the moment. So yeah, you can get the Tiny Terrors Elvira, and they're sort of re-releasing their original one, but in red. Got a red dress, kind of a Jessica Rabbit thing going on there. I really like the original. This new one, it's a really nice update. I think it's kind of cool. I didn't pick up the original, but I don't know, I got a soft spot for Elvira. It's probably the boobs. Yeah, that's what does it. Yeah, definitely the boobs. But no, this figure looks kind of cool. I like what Neca are doing with this. So the Tiny Terror Elvira is going to be $23, and the full-on Neca figure, that's $34. And yeah, good on you. They look pretty wicked. Neca are also doing Willie Nelson, from Elvira to Willie Nelson. Hey, if there's something or someone that hasn't been made into a toy yet, Neca are like, don't worry, trust me, we're definitely getting to it. I'm waiting for Neca to just announce the Displaying-Model-Behaviour figure, and I'd be like, did I sign off on that? Like, no, but we're doing everyone, so it's your turn now. That would actually be wicked. Boss Fight Studios are also going back for a second wave of their Saurozoic Warriors. Did I pronounce that right? Dino-Warriors is what they are. So we're getting wave 2. Let me tell you about them. Okay, there's a lot of big names and crazy words here, so I'm going to struggle my best to pronounce them. Let's see if we can have some fun with this. We've got Saurozoic Warriors Wave 2, H.A.C.K.S Nightlands Deco, with Nightlands Deco. That's what it is. H.A.C.K.S with Nightlands Deco. Then we've also got Pavapergia Ninja Archaeopteryx. I'm going to need a little fact check from our resident dinosaur expert on this one. Help me out, JVR. Then we have the Stays Akiden Samurai Ankylosaur. Pretty sure I nailed that one. Then finally, Sef Rasan Knight Pachycephalosaur. Pachycephalosaur. So yeah, I do really like the cartoon style that they've put in. Well, of course, they're cartoons. That's why they're cartoon style. But I like how they've recreated them. Big, chunky, bright. That's what I like in my action figures. So they've done a really, really nice job with these. So these are all listed on Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store and similar other places. $29.99 and going to be available around about January next year. Then over at Hasbro with the Star Wars line, we're getting the Tusken Riders Chieftain. Gotta say, I actually do really like the look of this guy. There are some fun looking details going on here. They're putting in a little bit of extra work. I think he's cool. Even as like a Book of Boba Fett type character, it's just, that's just like general Star Wars type lore you can throw this guy in with. And I think he looks decent. I like what they've done with him. And also, we're getting a vintage warrior figure as well. So we got your Star Wars Black Series and you got the smaller ones as well. So the vintage is $16.99 and the Black Series is $24.99. Again, oof, prices cost money, and money is what prices are, and they're all expensive. But hey, like me personally, I like the look of the Chieftain. I actually think there's some nice little details on there, and that's the thing. I hear that like people are saying the Black Series is bad and like there is in like a down period. I don't know. I don't collect them, but I gotta say like some of the figures I've seen, like the details, they look nice. I mean, there's a whole ton of repaints and bad stuff. I'm sure, but at the same time, I like what I see. Tusken Chief, he looks kind of cool. 4 Horsemen are dropping more Cosmic Legions reveals for their 3rd wave now. This time we're getting Scourge. I assume it's pronounced Scourge. Throw a little apostrophe in there, take some letters out. It's basically cheating at Scrabble at this point. But he's an ogre-sized character, so he's going to be a big, chunky boy. But yeah, he also looks really, really cool. The more I see, every time I see these Cosmic Legions figures, I'm like, oh, maybe I should just collect the whole line. And then I'm like, no, you don't have anywhere to put them. You don't have the money to buy them. Stop. Just look at the pictures and go, that looks nice. Then walk away. Speaking of 4 Horsemen Studios, Demistros. This is a PowerCon exclusive figure. So from what I understand, this figure is being sold not by 4 Horsemen, but by PowerCon, who, they run this PowerCon convention. And it is exclusive for people going to the convention. You can buy it online, but you got to buy a PowerCon ticket too. So I'm guessing like you could just like pay for the ticket and not go. But I mean, come on, where's the fun in that? He does look wicked. I think this is a character we've sort of seen before, but different effects and whatnot. Love the glowing skull head with the horns. You know me, skulls, horns, glowing effects, bright, big, colorful. That's all the stuff that I love. So as a little con exclusive, I think this guy looks pretty wicked. Speaking of walking away, I'm walking away from the Mortal Kombat figures. I can't riff. I definitely can't rhyme. And that ain't no crime. Storm Collectibles have shown full reveals now for their Nightwolf figure, and he does look annoyingly good. I decided to get out of the Mortal Kombat line. It was getting too expensive. Liu Kang was what did it for me. I'm like, I know he's coming with a whole dragon. It does look amazing, but no, I'm out. But now I'm kind of wishing that I wasn't out, because Nightwolf, he looks really cool. But again, it's $100. I'm not saying it's unreasonable, I'm just saying it's a lot of money. But you do get a lot of action figure for that money as well. You can see he's got his lovely magical, mystical weapons. I was thinking to myself, like, doesn't really have any blood or gore effects or anything. But, if you're collecting the Mortal Kombat line, you've got blood and gore effects out the wazoo. You don't need any more. Just the basic figure himself. That's going to be great. But yeah, with the axe and the arrow and just a really cool looking mean kind of face. Because I have said before, Storm Collectibles, I'm like, I don't think they always get the human looking face looking human. And in this instance, I think they nailed it. So yeah, this Nightwolf, he's going to be one of the standouts from the line, I think. I'm not going back. Not going back. And over in G.I. Joe, Hasbro are giving us 2 new figures. We're getting Big Ben. What's his full name? I didn't write his first name down. I remember his surname's Bennett, because it's Big Ben Bennett. But yeah, Big Ben. He's one of those ones that, like, for me, I think I wouldn't need that guy because he's such a normal military-looking guy. Cool-looking military guy, but nothing that sort of jumps out to me as being like overly toyetic and fantastical. You know, I like the fantastical stuff. He just looks like a really cool gas mask, awesome, like it's a cool looking figure, but I need something that's gonna just like, you know, butter my toast a little bit more. And with that in mind, Cobra have us covered with their Range Viper. Now, I've heard a few people humbling and grumbling about this. I'm not sure if maybe they don't, is it not accurate? I don't know. To me, it's accurate in that I accurately want a badass looking skull guy with a brain looking, like, just look at him. He looks wicked. I can imagine them repainting this guy over and over and over again, and every different version I'd possibly be interested in, because it looks badass. I'm sorry, like a skull mask, the details on there, the bright colors. I really, I'm not really collecting G.I. Joe anymore, but maybe just cherry picking the odd really nice figure here and there. This guy, he's a really nice looking figure, I reckon. This one in particular, yeah, this has my attention. I might have to grab this one. And Hasbro aren't done there either with their Marvel Legends line. They are releasing, kind of like low-key, not low-key, but low-key releasing a Walmart exclusive Ronin Hawkeye figure, unmasked. So you got the Jeremy Renner look going on there as well. So yeah, like I say, Walmart exclusive coming out around about July. And yeah, I can see why they kind of low-key released it. It's not like a huge big, oh my god, kind of figure, but it's nice to see. I really liked Hawkeye in his Ronin sort of look. I mean, that one scene where it's the one shot following him just murking all those Yakuza, like, that's badass. Gotta love Hawkeye. So, yeah, it's a cool looking figure. And sticking with Hasbro, going over to the Transformers line, but that's what it is. They have a couple of new reveals there as well. Again, I get so confused with Transformers with like Leader Class and Legacy and this and that, so I'm just going to show you 3 of them that I just saw drop, one of which really did catch my eye, and that is Toxitron. Now this is it Nemesis Prime? Is that, or Motormaster? I know he's one of like the trucky ones who looks like Optimus Prime but isn't Optimus Prime. He's been repainted in this great luminous toxic sludge looking color. I really like that with the clear transparent energy shield and weapons. He looks super fun. I really got a kick out of that. Then also we've got like a bright orange jazz. Don't know what the deal is with that. It looks like when they got like the rage virus in the Return of Optimus Prime episode and they were all glowing red. So yeah, I'm sure that's not what that represents, but that's just what I harken back to. And then they've got Cloud Cover as well. I had to pause it. I was like, wait, what was the name? Cloud Cover. So one of the sort of extra Starscream minion jets, and again, just nicely put together. I like the look of him. It's kind of cool. That's all I can really say about Transformers, though. It's like, kind of cool. Do you know any more information, Dave? Nope. Just kind of cool. David Big Ben Bennett. I just saw I wrote that lower down on my notes. David. How was I ever supposed to remember that name? And we're back. But Dave, you didn't go anywhere. Yeah, actually I did. I had to go to work. Right now at the moment, things are absolutely crazy. So I have to take every spare minute I can do to just try and film at every opportunity. So I'm sorry these videos have been a little bit delayed, but I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to keep up. Once I'm out of the rehearsal period and I'm just like doing my shows and all that kind of thing, it's going to be a whole lot easier. In the meantime, we're doing these when we can. So that's all the toy news, but now we've got all the extra stuff, such as the fact that Willow on Disney Plus has been cancelled. Or has it? There's a lot of scuttlebutt going back and forth between the producers and directors of Willow saying, no, we haven't been cancelled. We're not the first Lucasfilm project to be cancelled by Disney. And then a lot of other people saying, no, it has been cancelled. And honestly, I won't shed too many tears if it has, and that's a shame because I like all the people involved and I like the Willow property, but it wasn't a good show, you know? There were some really odd choices, like Warwick Davis is an excellent actor, yet it seems like they chose random takes that like were just not really appropriate for different scenes, and it's like, really, that's the best take you went for? There were some curious choices. Alright, so if Willow has gone the way of the dodo, honestly, it was what it was. One thing that is getting very good reviews though is Evil Dead Rise. This is a horror movie I'm so excited about because it's very rare these days that I will actually see a horror movie that I find kind of scary. I know, what a big tough guy over here. Oh, we got ourselves a tough guy over here. But yeah, like I don't find horror that scary anymore unless it's just made real well. And there's two different types of horror. There's the type horror. That's your Ari Aster type horror. That's your A24 type horror. And then there's the, oh my god, I don't want to watch, like it's too painful kind of horror. And that's what the last Evil Dead film kind of went for. There were various scenes involving, no, I'm not even going to mention them on this channel, and it looks like this film might be more of that watching through the cracks in your fingers going, oh god, I can't bear to, but I also kind of have to. So yes, Evil Dead Rise has been getting great reviews from horror fans recently, and whenever it comes out, I'm going to be getting myself, I was going to say some popcorn, nah, I don't think I'll be able to eat during this movie, but my goodness, I think I'm going to be entertained. And speaking of being entertained, John Wick 4 has also been getting absolute banger reviews. These are two movies that I've been so looking forward to for the longest time, and they're actually reviewing well. Think IGN. Again, IGN, the king of overrating stuff, but still, they gave it a 10 out of 10. It's got to be something going for you there. So yeah, Evil Dead Rise and John Wick 4, two big time movies I cannot wait to get to the cinema and see. Hopefully they come out over in Japan like soon, because I'm gonna be real annoyed if I have to wait extra long to watch these two. And finally for movies, just a cool little quirky thing, Lineage Studios, who I think might be a one-man creator, who does anime videos and animation, was commissioned to make a 1-minute Scream anime to promote Scream 6. And it's available up online, and it's a really cool little curiosity. I love seeing properties that you're familiar with transferred into like a different kind of genre, and an anime looking Scream, watching this, it's really cool. Got big bang of Chun-Li versus Vega from Street Fighter 2 type vibes. That was really fun to watch. Again, it's only a minute, but it's a good way of spending a minute. Over in comic book news, Marvel are relaunching Uncanny Avengers. What's Uncanny Avengers? Well, I'll tell you in case you didn't know, for you uninitiated out there. Uncanny Avengers is quite a cool team that's a combination of X-Men and Avengers characters. And I think it was, stop me if I'm wrong, it was originally formed in the wake of AVX, where it was Avengers versus X-Men. I think Captain America made this team to kind of like forge a few bonds and mend some bridges. Am I right in saying that, or am I just talking complete nonsense? Probably talking nonsense. Regardless, I like the concept of the X-Men and the Avengers in one cohesive team. So this time around, they're having some of the original members who were on the first team, like Captain America, Deadpool, Rogue, and they're splicing in a few new ones as well. We're getting Penance and a few others. I'm very much on board to see where this is going to go. I've been completely out of the X-books during the whole Krakoa saga, but that seems to be coming to an end soon. So when it does, I'm going to be more interested in maybe picking up the X-books, seeing where they go, and this might hopefully be a promising start. Over in pro wrestling news, very exciting news for me, AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling have announced Forbidden Door 2, going to be taking place from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto on June 25th. And now, so if you're not that familiar, Forbidden Door was a pay-per-view last year. As you can imagine, AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling coming together, colliding. And what was really interesting last year was that the card was like snake bit. All these wrestlers getting injured, getting hurt. The matches that were made had to be scrapped and changed, like right up until the last minute. And then you know what happened? On the night, it was one of the best pay-per-views we've seen in years. It was fantastic. fantastic. So if they can like capture that lightning in a bottle again this year, it could be an absolute banger. So yeah, June 25th for all you wrestling fans, circle that one in your calendar. That is going to be a big night. Over in video game news, we are getting a Toxic Crusaders video game. They're gross, but they still get girls. I'm not going to sing that. There's too much singing already. Regardless, this looks like a very classic 16-bit style 2D beat 'em up, just like the Turtles one that came out quite recently, which I enjoyed, but it's got a little button mashy for me as well. However, if you're a big 80s, 90s kid, you got some trauma from the Toxic Crusaders cartoon, then you can relive some of those good vibes. Coming out, I don't know when it's coming out. I just got a pretty trailer. But hey, enjoy the trailer. When we find out more, you know you'll hear about it. And again, with more just good reviews for good games, things to get hype about, the Resident Evil 4 remake, which isn't even called remake, it's just called Resident Evil 4. Yeah, that's scoring like 8.5, 9s and 10s out of 10s all across the board. Apparently this is like the best or one of the best ever reinterpretations of a beloved game, because the old one is classic, but it was certainly showing its age in the mechanics department. This looks gorgeous apparently, plays like a dream, and has got all the classic Resident Evil flair. As soon as I can get my grubby little mitts on a PS5, which will happen. Dave's gonna treat himself at some point. Just gotta get the time and the money and everything else, but when I do, that's gonna be one of the first games I play. Cannot wait to play that one. And some more local video game news, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the big sequel to Breath of the Wild on the Switch, coming out very soon, sometime in May I think it is. And in Japan, they're getting an exclusive collector's edition, which can come with a big art book, you know, one of those The Art of the Game type books, and also a cutlery set as well with a fork and a spoon. And honestly, I was kind of tempted, or even I was kind of tempted to be honest, buy that edition and then just keep the game and like sell the accessories, and maybe I could make some money back. I don't know. I'm trying to be sneaky, basically. In my old age, I'm trying to think, how can I get stuff without paying too much for it? Yeah, finally, at the ripe old age of 41, I'm suddenly learning how to be financially frugal and fiscally responsible. I know, I'm getting bored in my old age. Nonetheless, though, I can't wait to play this game. And yeah, the little fork and knife cutlery set coming with it, that's kind of quirky and weird and pretty fun. Over in general merchandise, Paragon Effects Group. I'm not familiar with this company, but they have made, as far as like movie props and replicas are concerned, this is super fun. They've made the shaving foam canister from Jurassic Park that Dodson was going to pay Nedry to steal all the embryos and place them in there. And it looks really cool. Like, it looks straight out of Jurassic Park. Like, this is like the prop they would have used. I think that's a really cool, weird, quirky, funky little piece of memorabilia to have. I mean, it's expensive. It's about $400. But then again, just to have that there and do the whole Dodson's here. Nobody cares. Such a classic line. I love that. But yeah, I thought this was kind of cool. Cosplay Corner. This episode we're featuring the Hannah Klein because, well, why the heck not? I mean, just look at that cosplay. The lady knows what she's doing. She's got the great costumes, the makeup, the lighting, the ideas, the creativity, and just some jaw-droppingly stunning photography. So, more power to her. She's got a lot of followers already, but hey, after this video, maybe she'll have a few more. I gotta say, in particular, her X-23 cosplay, like, you don't see many X-23 cosplays out there. So when you do, it's like, because at first I thought, oh, it's Gender Swap Wolverine. And then, of course, I realized, oh, no, wait, Gender Swap Wolverine is X-23. There you go, I read comics. And finally, a little bit of exciting news for the Flash movie coming out. Tom Cruise has seen it, and apparently is quite the fan. Now look, say what you will about Tom Cruise, but the dude knows a thing or two about making movies. And apparently after getting like a preview screening of The Flash, I don't know how it happened, but regardless, he did. He then actually went to the bother of calling up the director and literally saying something along the lines of, dude, thank you for saving cinema. Like, he was credited as saving cinema last year. I'll stop holding this now. People said that, no, it was Spielberg. Steven Spielberg, it's all very self-congratulatory here, isn't it? Steven Spielberg said that Tom Cruise in Top Gun Maverick saved, like, the box office cinema last year. And I think Tom's kind of paying that sentiment forward, saying, yo, Flash people, this is the superhero movie that the world needs. And honestly, that's good enough for me, because let's face it, that Flash movie has been snake bit for the longest time, with Ezra Miller going bananas and delays and this and reshoots and that. If it actually turns out to be a badass movie, I'll be happy to go, you know what, Tom Cruise? You were right all along. And folks, that does it for good news for today. The standing up good news. I'm kind of enjoying this. I got some happy feet and I can get a little more loosey-goosey. This might be a regular way of doing it, but gang, thank you so much for watching. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna get back into a good schedule with these videos. It's just things are a little bit crazy at the moment, but don't you worry. Once I've finished all my rehearsals and stuff, I'll get into a nice routine. Work won't be quite so insane, and we can get back to the good old model behavior days. So if you want to catch up with those, then you better subscribe and hit that notification button as well, because it seems like YouTube love to bury my videos in the algorithm. So gang, thank you so much for all of your support, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Cup of coffee.